Hello, and welcome to Cinema Clips. Grey's Anatomy is known for its high-stakes drama, and it's not just the patients who face life-or-death situations.
My name is Miranda Bailey. I am Chief of Surgery at Grey Sloan Memorial, and I believe that I am having a heart attack.
Sometimes, it's the doctors themselves. From terrifying medical emergencies to active shooters, the surgeons at Grey Sloan have had more than their fair share of near-death experiences. In this video, we're counting down 10 intense episodes where a doctor's life was hanging by a thread. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Grey's Anatomy content. Starting off at number 10, we have 17 Seconds. This Season 2 episode was more chaotic than most. Around this time, Preston Burke had to fly to another hospital in anticipation of a new heart for Denny. Everything was looking good until Denny's donor heart becomes unviable.
What the hell happened to my donor?
He went into VFib.
I can see that. Give me the pallets. Grab, take over compressions. You gave Epi?
3 rounds, and we shocked him twice.
I'm gonna hit him again at 360. Clear.
When this happens, Burke makes a case to get a donor heart intended for Erica Hahn's patient. Back at the hospital, Izzie cuts Denny's LVAD wire to make him sicker. She thinks everything will go according to plan until Burke gets shot outside the ER. He gets treated in the next episode where he survived the surgery. At number 9, we have Dream a Little Dream of Me, Part 1. At the end of this episode, Cristina has had it with Meredith. She can't take any more discussion about Derek, and instead she is determined to get back to work. However, fate had other plans. Just as she was making her way back inside the hospital, she slips, and before she can get up, an icicle from the roof falls down and pierces her abdomen.
Ow, ow. Oh, help me up.
Around this time, no one really knew if Cristina would survive. In part 2 of the episode, Owen comes to Cristina's rescue, carrying her into the hospital so that she could be treated. And at number 8, we have Sanctuary. This episode is undoubtedly one of the deadliest episodes that Grey's Anatomy has ever aired. In the beginning, the hospital was running normally, until Gary Clark, the widower of Derek's former patient, begins to wander around the hospital with a gun. Trying to locate Derek, he starts shooting any surgeon he encounters. He first shot Reed Adamson dead, then he sees Alex and shoots him in the chest. Later, Gary eventually finds Derek, and after a verbal exchange, he shoots him too. But what saves Derek is the quick thinking and courage of Meredith and Cristina. Despite the chaos and danger, Cristina steps up to perform emergency surgery right there in the OR, even with Gary Clark holding a gun to her head. At number 7, we have Help, I'm Alive. Grey's longtime fans will especially know that Owen is as tough as they come. He is a military veteran after all, and he's been through some seriously traumatizing situations. Clearly, Owen also has great survival instincts, and nothing can bring him down. Well, this isn't exactly true. In this episode, Owen gets hooked up to an IV after experiencing some flu-like symptoms. Despite this, he looked fine, even deciding to operate on a patient. Once in the OR, however, Owen is accidentally injected with a paralytic drug, which makes him collapse, and he ends up requiring intubation.
Okay, everybody stop, listen to me. The propofol sucks had just been accidentally injected into my IV, which means I have about 30 seconds until I will be paralyzed. So let's page the chief. The Lucas start the surgery stat. I'm gonna need somebody to put a tube in me because once I'm down, I'm gonna lose my airway, and if I can't breathe, then I will die. I'd also appreciate it if somebody could help me by breaking my phone.
Coming off at number 6, we have Song Beneath the Song. The hospital faces a critical emergency when Callie and Arizona are in a devastating car accident, leaving Callie severely injured. As the doctors rush to save her and their unborn baby, the episode takes a unique turn, unfolding as a musical. The moment she arrives in the hospital, Callie is rushed to the ER. Her condition was critical, but the team manages to save Callie and her baby. At number 5, we have Now or Never. Throughout her stay on the show, Izzie went through a lot. For starters, she lost Denny shortly after he proposed to her, and later on, she learned she has cancer. The disease ultimately takes a toll on her body, so much so that Izzie becomes convinced she may not make it. In fact, she even tells Alex to let her go in case she flatlines and that she already signed a DNR. Izzie's condition eventually deteriorates, and at one point, it did look like she would die.
Don't you no matter what. You're back. You're back. Izzie. Yang!
At number 4, we have Drowning on Dry Land. This episode follows the aftermath of a ferry crash that several doctors have responded to. This time, the doctors that went to the scene are back at the hospital and attending to several critical patients. To everyone's shock, Derek returns to the hospital with an unconscious Meredith. Even worse, she's cold as ice, having nearly drowned in freezing water while trying to attend to a victim. Fortunately for Meredith, doctors refused to give up on her, even insisting that she couldn't be declared dead until they warm her up. It took a long time, but they eventually got Meredith back. At number 3, we have Perfect Storm. To get the hospital back up and running, Richard sends maintenance guy Frank to check on the generator in the basement, but he never hears back from him. Richard eventually finds him slumped on the ground. When he regains consciousness, Frank tells Richard that the transfer switch just needs to be flipped on for the hospital to get its power back. But at the end of the episode, Richard is lying motionless in the basement right beside a sparking circuit box. At number 2, we have Don't Fear the Ripper. Miranda may be tough and hardworking, but she's only human and she has her limits too. In this episode, Bailey is busy dealing with her job and the fact that Ben has decided to become a firefighter. Evidently, the idea of Ben potentially running into danger stresses Miranda out to the point that she thinks she's suffering from a heart attack.
My name is Miranda Bailey. I am chief of surgery at Grey Sloan Memorial, and I believe that I am having a heart attack.
Initially, the doctors in the hospital dismiss her medical instinct. Later on, though, Miranda collapses. It turns out she was suffering from a blocked artery. Thankfully, Richard and Maggie arrive, and Maggie saves her. Finally, at number 1, we have Cold as Ice. In the history of Grey's Anatomy, 2 doctors have nearly died of drowning so far. Years after Meredith's accidental near drowning, April also suffers the same fate. This time, she and Matthew are involved in a car accident. Following their rescue, Matthew was rushed to surgery, while April's condition remained unclear. Eventually, fans learn that April is in critical condition. Maggie decides to put her on bypass. April's odds of survival looked bleak, but then Maggie thought she saw a heart rhythm and decides to defibrillate. In the end, Maggie saves her life. And that's a wrap on 10 episodes where a doctor almost died. Grey's Anatomy never holds back when it comes to life or death moments, and these episodes kept us all on the edge of our seats. Whether it's surviving gunshots or terrifying medical emergencies, the doctors at Grey Sloan always find a way to fight through. Which near-death moment had you holding your breath the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Grey's Anatomy content right here on Cinema Clips. See you in the next one.